Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. This is the TA Charts FA analysis for November 20th, 2021. We are starting with the 1 day signals, and they're all sell right now, but I don't know if I really agree with that. The relative strength index, the RSI, is 44.75. Remember, 70 or above is overbought, 20 or below is oversold. The stochastic, whereas 80 or above is overbought, 20 or below is oversold for the most part. So right now, they're both neutral. The stochastic is hedging towards the oversold area, but let's not forget that could just mean a overall bearish trend. In terms of the moving averages, the exponential moving average on 10-day is on the sell margin because the exponential is lower than the simple, meaning that if you weight towards more current, it's actually lower than average. If you look on the 20, it's also negative, and if you look, you have to go all the way basically to the 30 to see where it's all the way to the 50 actually to see where it's positive. That's too long for like a day length indicator. So it's actually like going into tomorrow, it looks like short term, it is actually sell momentum right now. But however, I don't really know if I agree with that, just because looking at the patterns right now, Bitcoin has been holding pretty tight the last 2 days, and it has tried to break 60K. Again, the thing is, like, it might get rejected once again tomorrow, and we might go down back to like 57 before breaking 60 once again. So maybe like slightly bearish for the 1 day indicator. If you look at the weekly indicator, the oscillators are still saying sell. The stochastic is actually basically overbought, which means like at least I think people are going to sell, because if you remember the daily the daily indicators were all pretty much sell. So the stochastic being over 80 means it's actually overbought, maybe and that might signal that people are ready to sell to recoup a little bit of profit, at least those who bought in at around 56,000. The relative strength index is 59.75. That's fairly neutral, not really buy or sell. The exponential moving average, the momentum actually does favor buy, because like if you weight it towards the last few days of the last 10, it's actually positive. The last 20 is positive, and the last 30 is positive as well. You have to go to the 50 for it to actually be negative, and that's just too long of an indicator. So like 10, 20, 30 are all positives. So the momentum is swinging by. Now the thing is, like, it is going to be Thanksgiving week next week, and the next Friday, I believe, will be the last Friday. Let me check. Next Friday, I believe, will be the last Friday of the month, which means the futures are expiring. Generally, like when futures expire, what I've noticed is the price tends to be slightly bearish in that last week, because like people are trying to, I guess, like congregate around one price. So the future expiry is generally like somewhat bearish for crypto the last Friday of each month. So I don't know if I would actually put this as a buy. I definitely wouldn't put it as a strong weekly buy unless you know something that, that says the futures is way above where we actually are right now. But I wouldn't put it as like a strong buy, definitely. I would actually par this more on the sell angle, because generally the futures expiry is slightly bearish for Bitcoin. So I think I would actually agree a little bit more with the oscillator indicator in terms of this. And like the oscillators and the moving averages and the summary, the oscillators and the moving averages differ from each other, but the moving average is a stronger buy than the oscillators. But right now, because the futures expiries are expiring, I would actually tend to be slightly bearish, like a really, really weak sell on the weekly right now. On the monthly, I am definitely a buy. Like on the long term, I'm definitely a buy. The RSI and the stochastic are both bordering on overbought, but that's really not what I'm actually seeing right now. The exponential moving average, obviously this month has been pretty bad. So the last 30, it's negative, but if you look at the 20 and the 30 and even the 50, I believe they're all positive. So I think the momentum over the long run, at least in the next few months, is still positive. This month was kind of an aberration, probably because of all the options expiries and some of the news that's come in from like the Fed bill. There's no more Fed bill next month. And also they have that proposal to amend the Fed bill for it not to take effect. So I would say like monthly moving, like if you're looking at a monthly chart, I would say it's a buy, and it's a fairly strong buy for me. Weekly, I'm like very weak sell. Daily, it's kind of a sell signal. Weekly, it's a very weak sell signal, maybe neutral signal. Monthly, I would say like a fairly strong buy signal, as the way I actually read the charts. Now, looking at the longs and shorts, it really hasn't changed from the last 2 days. We're still at around maybe like, it's actually even stronger now on the long side. It's maybe like 31 to 1 instead of like 27 to 1 a couple of days ago. So on the longs and shorts, longs still dominate. There is a possibility for a liquidation. Now, I do think it will actually pump in December overall in the fundamental analysis, because people do tend to follow the 4-year chart. There's a 4-year halving for Bitcoin, and I think psychologically people are just like wired that way. So I do think December is going to be fairly bullish, and I think we're going to be fairly bullish into January and February, because we're going to see positive news with like amendments to the bill and other things. I think China has stopped scaring people, and the MT Gox scare will soon be over, and I do not think they're going to dump all 150,000 MT Gox BTC at once. So right now, like, that's where I am. Like, daily, kind of bearish. Daily indicator for tomorrow, probably sort of bearish. Weekly, like, very slightly bearish, maybe neutral. And monthly, very bullish. So yeah, that's kind of like my read for the day, weekly, month. I don't really do TA for altcoins, because I believe TA for altcoins is pretty pointless. It just generally follows Bitcoin wherever it goes. So generally, like, whatever I say for Bitcoin is going to apply for most altcoins, unless you know that altcoin is like Elrond with Meyer launching or something like that. Generally, it's not really going to break the trend from Bitcoin. Meme coins aside, meme coins don't really have fundamentals, and they don't really have like any kind of technical analysis either, because they basically just pump whenever Elon Musk feels like pumping them. So there's no real fundamentals or there's no fundamentals or like technicals for that. It's just kind of like if you can guess right, and those guessing powers are pretty clutch these days. So that's my view on Bitcoin and the rest of the market right now. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.